So hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we're taking our first look on this brand new lens from Viltox. This is a Viltox Pro 27mm 1.2 for Sony. This particular lens is actually an APS-C lens, but I have it mounted on my Sony a7R Mark V. Therefore, I am getting a crop factor from my particular full frame camera, but that's not a problem because I'm using a 16 megapixel sensor anyway. Now, this particular lens actually surprised me a lot. From number one, it is the Pro series from Viltrox, so it is well built. It's all metal. It just feels very hefty to the hand, but not particularly heavy. Plus, it's got a 1.2 aperture, so even at 27mm, which is effectively about a 40mm 1.2, it's a good walk around lens, and that's why I'm right here in one of the parks in Tagaytay City in the Philippines to see how this particular lens will perform. Okay, so let's go. So if you guys are familiar with the channel, you know that I don't really do those technical reviews. However, I just want to give you a hands-on feel of what I think this lens can actually do. And just as full disclosure, this lens was sent to me by Viltrox. However, they are not paying me to create this video, nor do they have any control about what I'm going to say, and they will not be able to see this video until you guys actually see it. So this is an honest to goodness review, and you know me, I do love all my G Master lenses, but I'm always open to using lenses like this and see if it is actually a very good budget alternative to getting beautiful bokeh at a focal length I actually really like a lot. So come on, let's go. So the 40mm is actually a good walk around lens. It's wide enough for you to get a scene as beautiful as this one. Take a look at this one. This is actually the smallest active volcano in the world, Tal volcano. And every image that you're going to be seeing now, the ones I'm going to be shooting, is going to be straight out of the camera because I am actually recording a live feed from my camera to my phone, and that's what you're going to be seeing. I won't be processing any of these images. It's all going to be straight out of camera. So at 1.2 right now, and let me check the focusing. Let me check the focusing. Look at that. Full focusing features. It's AF. It's actually very fast. And from what I see, you can see my wife Coco is behind the camera. How do you find the color rendition? It's actually quite, it's interesting. There we go. There. Very, very nice. So let's take one shot at 1.2. There. Focusing doesn't seem to have a problem. One of the main questions that people will be asking me for sure with regards to this lens is how does it perform when it comes to focusing, and right now I can say in this particular situation, focusing is not bad. Oh, by the way, they've also adapted the aperture ring, which I totally love. You have the clicker here, so you can turn it on and off depending if you're shooting video or photo. But I personally like shooting an aperture priority, because this one is something that I use very often because it's faster for me to change my aperture this way. Of course, it's also got an AF/MF switch, and they have adapted the button here where you could actually set to how you want a specific feature to be. Focusing ring is pretty cool. So for video, if I put it on manual mode or manual focus, it's very smooth. So it might be very good for video, especially for the Sony ZV-E10 or the Sony a6700. This thing would actually be perfect. So let's see. So even if I look at that, it's actually tracking everyone, even if they're moving. I'd actually want to shoot Coco. I'll shoot Coco now. There, she's actually behind the camera. Well, there's a trash can right behind you. And look at that. It's okay. Look at that bokeh. Fantastic bokeh from, okay, I'll cover Coco's face with the camera. She's shooting me with one of my favorite cameras. This is a Sony ZV-E1. And look at that bokeh coming out of this 1.2 lens. I actually like it a lot because, you know, for some reason, it is a 40mm lens effectively, but it is a 27mm. And having this 27mm lens, I am not getting that crushed bokeh. In other words, I can still see what's actually behind you. Because one of the things that I actually dislike about bokeh, especially at 1.2, is that when I'm shooting someone, I don't even recognize what's behind her anymore or behind him. But this one, you could actually see everything. It's got really nice, smooth bokeh. Okay, enough of Coco. Look at that. Even if I'm focused on, let's say, this canopy here, I can still see the volcano in the back, even if I'm shooting at 1.2. Pretty interesting, right? Okay, let's see what else this lens can do. I always liked using front bokeh also, so having a 1.2 aperture allows me to focus on the volcano there and just blurring out everything else and creating a frame within a frame. Very nice. I actually like the color rendition of this lens. It's very, very vibrant. Now, let's check how close it can actually focus. So, let's have this one to go in as close as we can. It's actually still focusing until now. This is still focused. Oh, we missed focus already on that one here. And it's about 6 inches, give or take. Very scientific way of doing things, right? So this is about the distance that it can focus there. Not so bad, actually. Very nice. So you could take some nice product shots or plant shots too. Very nice. And you notice that I'm actually holding on to my Sony a7R Mark V with a phone attached to it, and I can hold on to it with one hand. That's how light this lens is, even though it is actually built with metal. So it's a good thing. And at 1.2, very, very nice. Might actually be good as an all-around carry lens. Okay, let's check it out if IAF works for animals too. There's a dog right here. Okay, we have to be very careful. Okay. Oh, wow, it still works. IAF still works even for animals using this Viltox lens. Look, let me see. There. Oh, there we go. All right. I actually don't want to chase the dog because stray dog will never really know. But I set my camera on animal IAF and let's see. Oops, shy dog. And I actually don't want to go near him or her. Here, doggy. There. Animal IAF works. There. And once again, babe, look at it. I'm holding it with one hand, even though my phone is right there.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. See? Actually works. Okay, let's shift this back to human again. So I'm actually quite surprised with this particular lens. It's relatively affordable for an f1.2 lens. It's a 27mm, 40mm equivalent. Good enough. Actually, it's a very, very good focal length whenever you're doing everyday photography. Because for me personally, 50mm is the perfect focal length, but this is between 35 and 50. People prefer 35, some people prefer 50. 40 is the middle ground. Again, f1.2 aperture gives amazing bokeh, relatively inexpensive. And one thing that surprised me the most is that the build quality is not too shabby, but it is very light. And that's something that I always look for whenever I bring around a lens, especially if I'm just going to be walking around. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, click that notification bell. Now, if you have any questions with regards to this lens, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you want to see more of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Okay, till the next video.